Hello there. I quit anime. I quit it. I'm sorry. Look at me. I'm an anime Egyptian god, okay? I have an anime poster right here of the best show created on planet Earth, okay? When I'm saying something about anime, you know something's wrong, right? At least something's wrong inside here with me. My heart. Yeah, I think anime's washed. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think anime's washed. This all started when One Punch Man season 3 came out. It cemented it for me, okay? I remember watching One Punch Man and being blown away. You know, it aided me in my exercise journey. I'm a fitness guy. I love fitness. I feel like if there was any anime fans that clicked this video or any anime fans among my audience that clicked this video, you already knew I was gonna yap about this. I watched it the day it aired. Okay, I didn't watch any YouTube videos on it. I wasn't prepped. I didn't see any memes. I didn't see any YouTube videos on it. I watched it the first day it came out because I was so excited. It's ass. It's so trash, and it's been eating away at me for months. Almost for weeks now since I've watched it, and I have never been able to look at anime the same because it's just a den of weirdos and greedy people now. I mean, it's always been a den of weirdos. There's just a couple of things that I think are really bad about the space right now, and I just can't with it anymore. So I've jotted down a few points, right? I've actually done some preparation. I always do preparation, as you can see. I mean, in the background, right? It's just everywhere now, okay? You see, the more accessible something is, the less value it has. Inflation. We have anime inflation, bro. It's just too much anime everywhere, all right? There's just 10 billion streaming platforms that you use if you don't pirate. And I don't condone that. It's just like mainstream media, mainstream TV. It's not weird anymore where you're like the weird kid watching anime. I know I was. People used to make fun of me for having like a bunch of different anime people on my like home screensaver. That doesn't happen anymore. Why? Because anime is everywhere. Everybody loves anime. And that's part of the problem, is because it's like, it's not as special anymore. And because it's not as special, big corporations see it, it's popular, people like it. Let's just pump it out the wazoo, which they do. Which brings me into my next point, which is the fact that it's just oversaturated now. You have titles like, I saw 200 Latina baddies that Shadow the Hedgehog tried to take away from me in 20 nanoseconds, and now I'm the overlord of another world. It's possible. Like, you're acting like that's crazy. Look at these titles. I'm gonna put a bunch of titles on screen right now for you. There are 10 billion types of shows that sound like this, all right? And it's just, that's absolutely insane. And why are they doing it like that? Because they're just picking up any idea they can so they can just sell you more. They just want to sell more anime to everybody, and it just sucks. It's like the iPhone. You can only do so many iterations before it gets boring. There's only like 3 main niches now for anime, if it's not a big anime title, which apparently are trash now because we got Garo sliding down hills at 2 frames a second. 1 frame, 0 frames, no frames. It's a PNG on sliding down. All right, it's a PNG sliding down. Now we only have like isekais, power fantasies, and like, I don't know, something to do with school. One Punch Man, it was something special, all right? Just a bunch of fighting fun. That's what I love. It's gone! Why? The Gooners are here! We have new anime fans, and all they want is too good. You can just go and watch your hentai, okay? It exists. It's free on the internet. Leave the shows alone. You know what it is? You get a bunch of sickos, all right, and then you want to edge. That's what it is. You just want a little hit. You're perverts beyond simple needs at that point. You're doing it for the thrill. Anyways, that was a side tangent. Most shows are literally just, it's the same protagonist, the same chicks, flaunting over him, just a reskin, just the same, just the same formula, just packaged over and over and over again, just like the iPhone. That was a good analogy. In hindsight, I should have wrote that down because that was just a great analogy, but I didn't write that down. That came from the dome. But yeah, it's just, there's just too many shows, there's too many similar niches, and it's driving me insane. I can't deal with it anymore. Another reason is like, unfortunately, that I have to say, is the fan base is cursed, all right? The harassment of these directors and the harassment of these mangakas and the harassment of these storytellers is unprecedented. I've seen insane stuff, insane DMs from people people just mad at people messing up their shows. Now, me personally, right? One Punch Man was my bread and butter. It was my peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It was my pizza top on my pizza. The pizza being Hunter x Hunter and anime in general. You know what I mean? It was just fire. I'm not a weirdo. I'm not really interested in all the booby lujubes, the little girls. I'm not interested in the romance as much. Romance could be cool, but if it's goofy. If it's goofy, I'm interested. If it's serious, I'm gonna, I think the only romance anime that I've ever actually liked was Toradora, I think it's called. That was fire. Why? Because it was just real. Did they have some weird moments in it? No, not really. I recommend it. I really do. It's really chill. It's very wholesome. That doesn't exist anymore. Me, I'm a fan of just a bunch of action, a bunch of psychological storytelling. You know, Death Note, that's fire. That's fire. You know what I mean? JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, amazing. Even though the person who probably made that, you know, liked men. I like it still. It's a crazy thing to say. Fashion, I love. The poses, I love. I love doing those poses in the mirror while I work out and such like that. Most of them. Some of them are just, some of them are sketchy. Right? Hunter x Hunter music is insane. All the music in this genre is absolutely insane. Shonen anime will literally convince you to conquer the edge of the cosmos. It's amazing. I just love the whole feel of anime in general. There are so many people here that it's starting to get dangerous. Me personally, if I was a manga artist or mangaka and my own anime that I created, I have obligations to other people to write the story how I wanted to write the story. That's insane. That's insane. It really is. And unfortunately, that happens for certain people. Anime is very demanding for everybody involved, and there's just so many stipulations, so many different things that people want to happen that don't happen, and people flip out, bro. Now, once again, it does depend on the anime, you know what I mean? Which is, you know, it's par for the course. There's going to be good people and bad people no matter where you go, no matter how you think about it, you know, in any place, any niche, any community that you go to, right? That's a given. It kind of seems like it should have stayed niche in that way that, you know, the art doesn't get degraded over time because you're trying to mass produce these shows so that you can make as much money as you can on them. It doesn't work like that. It's not like here in America where it's really, really cartoonish so that you can save on budget and you can pump out a lot over time. It's not like that, you know? Anime is very stylistic and very taxing for any of the artists that are working on it. It's getting crowded, man. I'm suffocating. I turn to the right, there's a fan there, and they're talking about something absolutely insane, and I'm sitting there, I'm just like, what's the show? Oh, that's right. 1,000 bad Latinas Shadow the Hedgehog is trying to get with to become the overlord of the new. I forgot the title. Can't really relate with anybody. I just can't. There's just too many random ones, and the ones that are super popular are just bad. I was in the middle of watching Dandadan, and I was recommended an anime from my friend, right, called Bungo Stray Dogs. It was an older anime, right? It wasn't up to date with the standard high production, make it look pretty, have good tunes so that people promote it and help us make as much money by, you know, self-promotion, right? It wasn't like that. I'm gonna coin a term: indie anime versus AAA anime. Okay, I love indie anime, but AAA anime sucks ass. It just does, and it's just gotten to that point where I think that I'm just not really into it. I'm really just into the stylistic fighting. I'm a simple god. Stylistic fighting. I love combat. Just to see it, it's amazing and very fun. And anime is the peak of stylistic art where combat is concerned. It just is. There's no universe in the world where I didn't like anime. Too much fan service. I can just be trying to watch a show, right? And they're just going crazy. They're fighting. And then out of nowhere, I have to sit through like a 30-second scene of some guy trying to peek at panties or like a bra or boobs. And I'm not interested in it. I don't care. If you want to be over-sexualized, there's a place for you people. Leave us, leave! My last point, once again, is I just really want to cement it. The treatment of animators is terrible, bro. It really is terrible. I believe animators should be paid way more, especially for the output that they're putting out, right? Heck, any artist should be paid more. Any musician, any artist, they should be paid as much as they could, because these people are the people who tell the stories that drive evolution of the human species, right? They drive the evolution of art and all these things surrounding it. Icons like me and Raw over there, set right here, right? They wouldn't exist without artists, without people who actually thought these things and etched them through history so that people like you and me could enjoy it. So without these people, we're nothing. We're nothing. Life is very boring, very gray, very stale, and very animalistic without art. A large part as to why One Punch Man Season 3 was really, really bad, in my opinion, I didn't do any research, so I don't know, right? Is the fact that Bandai Namco didn't give enough budget. Right? And I only think that because in the VFX world, sometimes movie VFX are really, really bad. Marvel VFX are trash, but it's not because the VFX artists are trash themselves. It's because they're asked to perform for long hours with very low pay and have the most insane deadlines to cover for. And from personal experience and talking to some of these people, it's insane. I'm not going to say too much, right? I'm not leaking, but it's insane. And these studios, they just sit there and they know that these animators are new. They're passionate about, you know, getting into the anime game and all this, and they know that they can undercut these people, which is why I know for a fact they don't care about animators. Once they realize that Sora can do what most animators can, they will replace them. That is just how it will go. It's just really sad to think about because these are the people who have created personalities, part of my personality, part of a lot of people's art and their expression, you know, and they're being treated terribly. Why? Because they don't care about them, you know, and I don't hate AI. But humanity should be preserved. Creativity with humanity should be preserved. To be honest with myself and with everybody here, I feel like a really large part of it is I think I'm just unk now. All right? I think that may be what it is. A lot of people tell me it's not that and that I'm not unk, and I don't think I am either. I don't know how unk gets younger and younger the more I think about it, you know what I mean? And like a year goes by and I'm just like, if my birthday comes up, I'm just unk. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel. And it's sad because I go back to previous generations and watch their version of shows and their versions of anime, and I enjoy it more. Retro music sounds better to me. Retro everything sounds better to me, and I have to sit there and realize, okay, so it's not from my era, but somehow I like it more and it sounds good. So is it me being unk somehow, especially at this very young age? Kind of, maybe not. 5,000 years is crazy. Maybe I'm just not young or brain rotted enough to just pass it on and be like, hey, this is fire. When I don't see, I don't know, Beerus taking Goku and throwing him through a pyramid. My house. I really wanted to talk about this because I feel like it's a larger problem. I didn't want to rant too much because I have a problem with yapping. If it were up to me, this video would probably be like an hour long because I have so many things to say about it, but I never gatekeep. I always encourage people to always keep searching. If you're not into anime, you should go watch anime. Do I recommend the new ones? Hell no! I'd rather you go watch Sword Art Online, Bungo Stray Dogs, Hunter x Hunter, Dragon Ball Z, Hunter x Hunter. Personally, I feel like these things just have more soul. Movies from back then had more soul. Video games back then had more soul. Indie projects have more soul. The minute it starts to get a little bit more mainstream, I feel like the soul kind of departs, and I hope that I don't take that route one day. Because I'm not sure if it's just a product of, or like the evolution of an audience becoming bigger and like you trying to appeal to all the audiences, or if it's just you selling your soul to get a bag. I don't get it. But anyways, they messed up One Punch Man. Go down, Bandai! Go down! Because why? It's One Punch Man! There's so many different random shows that have zero correlation to anything that are carbon copies and they have better animation. But one of the biggest anime of all time that cemented anime across the globe, One Punch Man, in my opinion, right? You had a lot. You have Yu Yu Hakusho. You have all those different ones, right? But One Punch Man was one of those. He's such an icon. It's very telling of the time we're in, to where one of the greats are now nothing, cannon fodder, basically. You know, compared to the slop that you can just push out. Anyways, those are just my thoughts on it. You know what I mean? I'm just yapping. I will end on saying this, you know what I mean? I don't like things being overly negative. I believe a more negative world is a very bad world. The more positive you are in this world, the more days you have on this earth, right? And the more negative you are, let's just say your days are numbered. So, you know, I'm not gonna say that anime is dead. There's a lot of indie projects that are gonna come out. Maybe one day I can make one. You know what I mean? Where, you know, I can just be an indie guy who makes an anime. There's always gonna be that. All I'm saying is that mainstream anime and, you know, something that was funded by a big project can sometimes be beautiful too. Money isn't a bad thing. It's greed that is a bad thing. Putting a lot of money into an anime can make the anime way better. You can have more story writers, you can have more animators, you can have more leeway and more comfortability so that the overall feel of the show is just better and more wholesome. You know what I mean? So I'm really excited for a bigger corporation to come in and actually, you know, treat these people well and keep the human element as well. But on the other hand, maybe not. But I think that things only can get better the more other people take up the mantle of creating these stories and sharing them to the world. Anyways, that's all I gotta say. Like equal pizza. I love pizza. Look at my shirt. I love pizza. Pizza is good. I shall see you guys later. And in the next one, we're gonna probably talk about AI. Probably. Because I don't hate AI.